Hi, welcome back to the Prep Lab. I'm Phil McCaffrey, and this is percentage worksheet number 2 that I sent out, and it's a number of problems from the ACT official practice tests. So I did them in order from easy to hard. Let's take a look at them. Let's go to the screen. So the very first thing says Jorge's currently hourly wage for working at Denty Smiles is $12. He was told that at the beginning of next month, his new hourly wage will be an increase of 6%. The key is increase 6%. So what do? 12 plus 12 times 6%. Or if you watch my percent video, it's 12 times 1.06, which is $12.72. It's answer choice H. Now, let's take a look at this easy problem and see some of the things. 12 plus 0.6 is answer choice F, and that's just silly. Percents always mean multiplication. There's never a direct addition in percents. 12 plus 0.6 is 60%. 12, that's weird too, so that's just wrong. So learn how the wrong answers are written helps you increase your score just as much as doing the right answers. 12 plus 6 is 18. That doesn't make any sense either. And 12 increased 60% is 1920. So this is 12 times 1.6 instead of 1.06. So all of these answers are wrong, and they're mistakes you can make on your calculator. So be very careful. Okay, let's go to the next question. To get a driver's license, an applicant must pass a written test and a driving test. Past records show that 80% of the applicants pass, and 60% of those who passed the written test passed the driving test. Based on these figures, how many applications in a random group of 1,000 applicants would you expect to get a driver's license? Notice how I underline. This is called active reading. I'm getting the numbers and the key math words. Percent always means multiply. So I start with 1,000. 80% of them pass the written test. So that's 0.8. 0.8 of 1,000 is equal to 800. 60% of the 800, 60% of those who passed, those are 800 are those who passed. So 800 times 60% equals 480. You could have done this all in one step as 1,000 times 0.8 times 0.6. Learn how to do this with speed. The answer is 480. This is a great question. It's a number 23, so it's at the end of the easy and the beginning of the medium. A lot of students miss it. It says 8% of 60 is 1/5 of what number? When you see of, that means multiply. So let's set this up algebraically. 0.08 times 60 is equal to 1/5 of what number? When you see what number, that's your variable. What number or how many? Learn to place your variable in the equation. This is given as a straightforward problem, so this is a great one to practice. So 1/5 of means 1/5 times some number, or 1/5 of x. 0.08 of 60 is 4.8. That equals 1/5 of x. To get rid of the 1/5, we multiply both sides by 5. Take your calculator and multiply 4.8 times 5, and you'll get 24. Notice what the very next number is, 240. That's 80% of 60. So be careful with your decimal places. That's how they make those mistakes. You can play with the other ones and figure out how they've made the mistake, and I can show you that. I might make a bloopers video on how they got 3,750. All right, 34. In the middle of the mediums, medium difficulty. And this is a multiple question problem off of one diagram, and it says the length of the south side of the park is what percent of the length of the north side? Very easy problem for a medium. Here's south, here's north. Here's south, here's north. What percent is the south side? So the south is 40. The north side is 28. To find the percent, you divide the part by the whole and multiply by 100. This comes out to 142.85 something on your calculator. The only one that's close is H, 142 and 6/7. You don't have to actually calculate the 6/7. Interestingly enough, if you like fractions, 40 over 28 reduces by 4, which is 10 over 7. And we can convert that to 142 and 6/7, which is a weird thing to do, so you may not like the fractions. One way to do this problem is to work backwards. You take your calculator and you take an answer choice like 175%. Well, we know 175% is 1.75. So 1.75 times 28 is equal to 49. Well, that's longer than our 40 inches. Well, let's move up. So 175% is wrong. Well, so is 250%. Let's take 1.24 times 28, and that gives me 34 point something, which is too short. If 124 is too short, so is 112. So working backwards is an excellent technique to use with multiple choice answers. Take the answer choices and multiply them by the problem. This next problem is the number 43. It's getting into the difficulty. It's a table of 3 numbers, and it says Mario plays basketball on a town league team. The table below gives Mario's scoring statistics for the last season. How many points did Mario score playing basketball the last season? Type of shot, number attempted, and the percent successful. Percent always means multiply, and this means multiply across the table. 1 point times 80 attempts times 0.75 successful. 80% times 0.75, let me look at my cheat sheet, is 60 points. 2 points attempted 60 times with a 90% success rate. And that is 2 times 60 times 0.9, or 108. 3 points, 60 attempts, with only a 25%, I forgot my decimal on the 90, is equal to 45. So now we just add up 60 plus 108 plus 45 is 213. The biggest mistake that students make is they just multiply the number of attempts times the percent successful and add them up, and that gives us 129, the wrong answer. The correct answer is 213. Now this is a hard problem, and notice one thing. The answer choices, as we're about to add them up, end in 0, 8, and 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. The answer has to end in 3. The only answer choice that ends in 3 is C, 213. I call this last digit math. The ACT often gives the correct number with only one last digit, and all of the wrong answers have a different last digit. It's an advanced technique. I'll be making a video on it, so look on YouTube for last digit math. Lastly, a 46 in the middle of the difficulties. So this is also a problem where they give a figure and they ask multiple questions. It says Kaya wants to install a new circular stained glass window in her living room. The design of the window is to be identical to the panel. This is the panel. It's given in the test as this is the panel. The diameter will be 75% longer than the diameter of the panel. Well, what's the diameter of the panel? 2 feet. It's 75% longer, so it must be more than 2 feet. The ridiculous answer is 2.75. That's just so wrong. Percent always means multiplication. This is 2 plus 0.75. So that's just clearly wrong. 2 times 1.75 equals 3.5. The answer is J, 3.5. Notice what they do, because it's a hard problem, is 2 times 75% equals 1.5. That answer choice is right there. A lot of people pick this, and they don't think 75% longer must be more than 2. This is worksheet number 2. Thanks for watching.